Well, before becoming a haven for golf and tennis enthusiasts, La Quinta had been many things, from part of an ancient lake to a popular escape for the Hollywood elite. Our Steve Sumrall explores the La Quinta Museum in this edition of Our Desert Past.
This is our beautiful mural, and it was painted when the museum opened in 2008. The artist was Andre Blanchet, and he was 85 years old when he painted it. As you can spend a lot of time studying it and probably find many little Easter eggs, but one of our favorites is that Andre painted his own face into the mural right over on the rocks over on the side there. So it depicts a timeline of the city from ancient Lake Cahuilla to our Cahuilla heritage here through to the La Quinta Hotel, which is now the La Quinta Resort.
Incidentally, you may think that the La Quinta Hotel was named after the city of La Quinta. It was actually the other way around. William H. Morgan opened the La Quinta Hotel on December 29, 1926. It featured 3 courtyards and 20 guest casitas that were spread out over 1,400 acres of land. It was Morgan who first utilized the name La Quinta.
I believe it was at a barbecue he heard from a local rancher the name La Quinta as a name meaning a hacienda, a country home with little casitas surrounding the main home, and he named the hotel La Quinta. And the city is now named La Quinta after the hotel. And we hear that we're one of 2 places named after a hotel, the other being Beverly Hills.
The La Quinta Museum features a vast array of knowledge regarding this special part of our desert, from its original occupants, wildlife, and the evidence of what was here long before.
Another feature of our history gallery are the shells from the ancient lake.
The ancient lake being Lake Cahuilla. Not the man-made recreational fishing hole, but the original prehistoric body of water for which it took its name.
There's still evidence of the ancient lake today. If you dig down a little bit in the desert here, this is what you will find.
The La Quinta Museum is situated between 2 historic buildings. This one, built in 1935, was home to the La Quinta Milling and Lumber Company, which supplied building materials to the casitas that were being built in the La Quinta Cove.
This was the lumber yard, and this building in the back is where the lumber was stored for the building of the casitas. T.O. Brooks moved into that building after the original contractor, and that was the first post office, and we believe that his wife was the first postmistress in La Quinta.
And this building was built around the same time by the Palm Springs Land and Irrigation Company. Now, they were the ones who built those casitas in the cove, and they sold them out of this building. Today, this is home to the La Quinta Historical Society.
Some of La Quinta's most interesting residents are featured at the museum.
Frank Capra he's been called the personification of the American dream, an amazing director, and he called La Quinta his lucky charm for writing because it said that he won Oscars after writing It Happened One Night here in La Quinta.
As well as an equally impressive filmmaker that you may not have heard of. Her name was Dorothy Arzner.
She was the only female director in Hollywood for many years and continues to this day to have the largest body of work of any female director.
Fun fact, it was Dorothy Arzner who had the idea to mount a microphone at the end of a long pole and hold it over the actors' heads out of camera range, thereby creating the boom mic.
Of course, is Rita Hayworth enjoying the Desert Club pool with her mysterious friend who we have yet to identify.
And of course, we can't speak of old La Quinta without mentioning the Desert Club.
So the Desert Club no longer exists. It was built in the 30s. A prominent architect, S. Charles Lee, he built the movie palaces in Los Angeles, and he created this Art Moderne club here in La Quinta.
Now, a fraction of this tennis court is the only thing that remains of the legendary Desert Club. It could be found right here in La Quinta's Fritz Burns Park.
For Our Desert Past, Steve Sumrall, NBC Palm Springs.